A lot of companies have been putting out statements on their social media to honor George Floyd and to make their stances clear on topics like inclusivity and racism. Today, I really wanted to point out Disney's statement specifically and some past actions of theirs. Before we do that, though, I want to make it very, very clear that this was great of them to say something like this, especially during these tumultuous times. There is a lot of turmoil right now in the world because of the murder of George Floyd, and people are angry, and rightfully so. But we have seen that there are just so many opportunists out there that are trying to take advantage of the situation, like looters ruining all of the peaceful protests. And of course, this statement from Disney pales in gravity to this situation, but it's definitely important because it highlights how hypocritical these companies are and really what their agenda is, which is not caring about people and just making money. I try to point out situations like this as often as I can. Even during these crazy times in the world, I feel that it is extremely important to still discuss these topics, or else they go unnoticed, and I feel these topics shouldn't go unnoticed. So, let's just get started with it. This was one of the statements that they made on social media. This was posted to the official Star Wars Twitter and Instagram, the official Disney Twitter and Instagram, and various other branches that Disney does own. But it's all the same message. It says, "We stand against racism. We stand for inclusion. We stand with our fellow Black employees, storytellers, creators, and the entire Black community. We must unite and speak out." And again, I just want to say this. I think that it is great that they said this, and it's great that they put that effort into this. But at the same time, they need to reconcile with what they have done in the past, and they haven't. So it's making them look like giant hypocrites. It shows to us what we have been saying all along, that equality and inclusivity only matters when they feel like it can make them look good or it can help their bottom line. I feel it is extremely important to point out the controversy surrounding Finn and the Force Awakens posters, and also the situation with the most recent Star Wars movie, The Rise of Skywalker, where they censored a same-sex kiss scene for specific regions because this doesn't equal the statements they've made now about inclusivity and standing united. So as you can see in this image, on the left side is the Chinese poster. You have Kylo Ren, you have Luke, and you have Leia, and you have Rey, and they all have pretty prominent roles on the poster. And then you get to the Western poster, and it has all of those same characters, but Finn has a much larger spot in the poster compared to the Chinese version of it. Star Wars The Force Awakens fans are menaced by the Chinese poster for the upcoming sci-fi epic. The poster has sparked controversy online over stylistic changes, one of which resulted in the diminished presence of John Boyega's lightsaber-wielding character. Now, aside from BB-8 having more prominence, the biggest discrepancy between the two posters is the shrinking of Boyega's Finn and the positioning of his body. Boyega, who plays a lead role, is lower down from the original poster, where he's the third largest character after Adam Driver's Kylo Ren and Daisy Ridley's Rey, and tucked under Harrison Ford's gun-toting Han Solo and Carrie Fisher's Leia, and behind a much larger BB-8. As you can see, this only happened back in 2015. I mean, that wasn't really that long ago. And let's also go to one of the newer situations surrounding Star Wars from The Rise of Skywalker, which only released 6 months ago. Star Wars Disney removes same-sex kiss from The Rise of Skywalker in Singapore. Disney has removed a brief scene of two women kissing from Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker in Singapore. Doesn't seem very inclusive to me. Doesn't seem like they're fighting for inclusivity to me. The film features the first same-sex kiss in the franchise's history and is shown in a flash when two women embrace among a crowd of characters. It is a very short, very quick scene. It's really only like 3 seconds that the camera pans over them. It's really not that large. But Singapore's Media Regulatory Board told the BBC that Disney cut the scene to avoid it receiving a higher age rating. Without the kiss, the film is rated PG-13 in Singapore. I do not think that Disney should have removed this same-sex kiss from The Rise of Skywalker. And I damn well do not think that they should have changed the poster for the Chinese market. They shouldn't have sidelined this character, not only in the movie, but in the marketing for the Chinese release. But it's obvious that at both of these points in times, they only cared about appeasing to those markets, and they didn't really care about being inclusive at that point in time. And these things were recent, 6 months ago and back in 2015. It is never too late for a company to change and reconcile with their past mistakes, but they haven't done that, and they haven't made any indication that they plan to do so. So if they really want to stand by this statement that they are making on social media without it being hollow, they really need to make this right, and I think that they just really need to change the way that they act when it comes to marketing and selling their movies. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. If you enjoyed it and found it important, please make sure to give it a like and share it. And of course, if you did not, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way. Thank you for watching the video, and I will talk to you all again in the next one really soon.